So I've seen this recipe, and I looked it up every which way but loose, and I can't find a dang name for it. But you're going to start with 3 tangerines, so we're just going to go ahead and peel these. It's going to take me a little minute, but yeah, so I'm not really sure what this is called, and I'm going to actually mix the recipe up just a teeny tiny bit, because, you know, we do like creamsicles here in this house, and I want it to taste more like a creamsicle than I'm afraid it might not taste like. So I'm going to probably add some vanilla to it, and I'll show you when I get to that point, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to, because that's my own little addition and twist on it. So let me get on peeling these. Now you want to make sure you get all that, you know, that skin off, because it can make it kind of bitter and all, but it sure does make your fingers smell really good and all. So let's get these tangerines peeled so we can get on to making this recipe. That's right, don't forget I got 3 to do. Alrighty, here we go, on to the next step. So now I'm using gelatin. They use, in a lot of these recipes, the Asian recipes, they call it agar. But, you know, it's just about the same thing. Does the same thing, same trick and all. And agar, I think, is more expensive, quite honestly. So we're going to use 2 packets of this here plain gelatin. Going to add it on into the saucepan, just like so. And to this, we're going to add in 1/2 cup of water. And we're going to put it in here. Now we're going to stir this up. We're going to let this all start to bloom. So when they say bloom, it's not going to turn into a flower or nothing like that. It's just going to turn all like jelly-like. You know what I'm talking about. You know, like that stuff that's, you know, when a baby pees in her diaper, you know, and it turns like to jelly. That's kind of like what this is going to do. Alright, now that's turning into like a jelly. It only takes about a minute or 2. All it's doing is just kind of absorbing the water and, you know, puffing up. Now we're going to add in 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. That's right, sweetened condensed milk. And you can use store brand or whatever you got on hand. Make sure you get all this good stuff. Sweetened condensed milk is so delicious, and you can use it for lots and lots of recipes. So we're going to add that right into that, to that jelliness in there. Pour it right on in. I'm going to bring this over to the stove and cook this up. Now we want to bring this to a boil, but you want to do it slowly because it's going to be kind of thick, and you definitely don't want this to burn. But we got to bring it to the boiling point. So it's going to just take us a few minutes over there. And you've all seen things boil. I don't need to show you that, do I? I mean, I could if you really need me to, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But you just want to do it slowly and stir this all up real good, and then we're going to put it on the stove. I'll see you when I got it. Alrighty now, get a soda pop bottle, the 1 liter size. Now rinse it up real good, whatever you had in it. Best if you have one that just had like soda water or something like that. And then you cut off the top, just like so. Now we're going to take our tangerines that we peeled. Now I'm using these are the cutie ones. And you know, they're kind of cute and all. You know, that's why I guess they call them cuties. You want to put them on a skewer, just like your shish kebabbing, you know. But just like that. Stack them up like it's Halloween, you know, like a bunch of pumpkins, and we're being really fancy and all that. So we're going to stab them right through the middle, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and stick this right on in here, like that. And then we're going to, you know, push them down some, like, you know, kind of like that. Just like so. Alrighty. Now, we brought this up to the boiling point. You know what the boiling point is. It's that point in which it comes to a boil. You know, that's the boiling point. There you go. Look at that steam. Okay, so here's my extra ingredient that nobody was talking about, but I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, just because I know it's not going to make it as white. It's going to probably darken it up just a little bit, but I think that'll be okay. But, you know, I want it to really be delicious, and we like vanilla, and I think it'll give it more of that creamsicle flavor. You know, maybe some people would say, you know, I'm not a purist by doing that, but I think it's going to be good. So now this is pretty good and hot. Now we can probably let it cool down just a hair. And then we're going to pour it right on in here. So we're going to let this cool down just a minute, because, you know, that's just a plastic bottle, and we probably shouldn't be pouring something quite this hot in there. Alrighty, I transferred it over to this measuring cup to make it so much more like appealing to watch this beautiful pour we're going to do. That's right. So anyway, you want to make sure that it's kind of cooled down, but it's still got to be warm. You don't want it to be setting up on you. Now we're going to put these right on in here, just like so. And now we're going to go ahead and pour this on in, just like so. And just like that. Maybe they used a smaller one or something. I don't know. I'm following the recipe. Maybe I need to push these little fellas down a little bit. But you want to keep them on a skewer so that, you know, they stay lined up. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, and I'll see you guys in about 4 hours. We're just going to slice this up and give it a good old tasty taste. And I'm hoping it comes out as beautiful as those pictures and everything, that they didn't skip some steps that they didn't tell me about. You know what I'm saying. They do that all the time. They trick us. Alrighty, now it's been about 4 hours, and doesn't look exactly like theirs did, but I think they didn't tell me about some steps they were doing. And, you know, they didn't even give it a name, so I think I'm going to call it Milk and Cuties, because that's what I use, those Cuties, you know. All right, so now you're supposed to be able to just, like, kind of squeeze it, and it should, like kind of break like the vacuum, and it should kind of, like, wiggle out. We're going to see if this wiggles on down, because if it doesn't, then they said if it doesn't wiggle out, then you're just supposed to, like, cut it out. So we might have to just do a snippy snip snip. That's what we're going to do. Snip it down here, and let's see, like tear it down, I guess, something like this. I'm not sure about this. All right, maybe it'll wiggle out more if you kind of had it torn out. I'm working on it. It's harder than it looks, guys. All right. Okay, it's coming. All right, we're getting to the bottom of this now. All right, I think we're going to get it out now. Here we go. Come on. Come on. We want one piece. It's kind of like sticking in that, like, soda base bottom. I need to get some more. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right, we got it now. Okay. There you go. I am so fancy, you guys. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we're supposed to just make slices, just like this. Oh, it helps if you take the knife off, the cover. Okay, so now there's probably not really any oranges in this end piece. Oh, you know what? Let's take the stick out. Take the stick out. There we go. Okay, now that's just kind of like the end gelatin piece. So now these should be really pretty. Like, okay, now here we go. Oh, look at that. Would you look at that? Oh, I can't wait for the taste test. Look, it's so fancy. Wow. All right, now I'm just going to cut up one more for me and one for Meg, and tasty time it is. So this recipe doesn't really have a name or anything, so I'm just going to I'm calling it Cuties and Milk. Just going to call it that. And
we'll work on it.
It looks like kind of like sunny side up egg and all.
You know, upon reveal, I was excited about, you know, it looks, but the way you're describing it,
there's no egg in it.
Not making.
There's no egg in it. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to cut it with a knife or how this works.
I'm just hoping this white stuff actually's got a flavor of some sort and isn't just flavorless white.
What exactly does white taste like? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother.
Kind of tastes like a creamsicle, right?
Mm.
It's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a lot of steps and details and stuff for to do it, you know.
The white almost tastes like that dip you get when you get like a fruit platter. Almost kind of tastes like that.
But sweeter.
A little bit.
It's not too bad. It's not terrible. It's pretty good. Kind of refreshing. There's just more of this in the middle of it.
I was getting a lot of like stringiness.
Oh, well, I peeled them and everything.
It's I'm gonna be honest, I smoked some weed before this.
I like when she's honest.
There's like a lot of It's like this, with the skin being cold, it's like thick.
Yeah. It's a little more work to eat than you anticipated.
It tastes good though.
Actually, I think so. Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I might have a different perspective than other people because thanks for watching.
I'm thinking it's pretty good. You know, not sure if I'm gonna make it again, but maybe if I did it with something like kiwis that are easier to eat. Maybe if I did
I like the flavor, it's just the skins piss me off.
Yeah, maybe. Well, you just blame that on the cuties. Maybe if you do like the mandarin oranges and somehow just get them to stick down the middle.
Bye now.
Okay, we're gonna be figuring this out. We'll get back to you on that. So what do you think? It's pretty good like that. I guess it is kind of finger food.
I feel like a wolf just digging in there.
But it is kind of refreshing. Kind of like.
That's how you gotta eat it. You just gotta attack it like an animal.
There you go. There you go.
Because otherwise then the skin gets in the way, but if you just rip through like a little werewolf.
Mm. So yeah, so delicious. Get your vitamin C.
I just narrowly avoided scurvy. But thanks to this, I'm gonna be alright.
Thank goodness, thank goodness. And you know the gelatin is really good for your nails. Leave it to the gelatin.